Hooray!
Yay!
We're back.
We're so bad.
Right on
Pope is
time.
dead and we have proof.
Exactly when we're supposed to be here.
Happy Easter, everyone. This is the Easter special. 1 week late.
Oh, so happy end of
bro.
Happy
Lent?
Easter, Xbox. Lent? Did someone say Lent?
I'm not religious.
Yeah, I think Lent also ended.
I lent
Yeah,
you
and
my
with
Switch
Easter.
too. Can I have
So
it back,
happy end
please?
of Lent.
Switch 2.
You know, if you have
Those are real?
$10 for the C button.
You went there?
Yeah. Paul Rudd's my best friend. He gave me a Switch.
Oh
He
my
lent it
God.
to me.
You, Paul Rudd, very cool.
You guys are getting the Switch 2? Oof.
Someday.
I just
Yes.
realized I have my Twitch
Probably.
category set to dust. Let me put it on podcast. My bad. It still says konnichiwa mini-san.
Mori
Yeah,
Calliope? White woman?
White woman. Okay, sorry. Back to it. What are we talking about this fine
Switch
Easter,
2,
everyone?
we're all buying it on launch for everyone.
Yes!
We love supporting corporations.
I love
I've never
$80
heard
video
Switch
games.
Yo,
Games.
drop a like and a comment and you'll get a free Switch 2.
Yeah, join our
Guys,
free
there's a Switch 2.
Switch 2 giveaway. I can't wait to get game card keys.
There's a
Please
Switch
like and
2.
subscribe.
There's a Switch 2.
Actually, it's
What
Switch
happened to
minus
Switch
1.
What happened to the Switch 1? What happened to it?
It's out of the
Still upset about
equation.
the-
Yeah, it's called
I'm
the Wii
serious
U.
here. I didn't know they had a Switch 2. What happened to the Switch 1?
Called the Wii U. You didn't buy it?
What's a Wii U?
No, I bought.
It's like a
What?
Dreamcast, but worse.
The last console I bought was the N64, and now you're telling me there's a Wii U?
Man in a
What
coma.
happened to the Wii?
I have great news about Mario.
What is this news? Please enlighten us.
He has more games.
Yo!
Wow. Who let that man make any more games?
He has more games.
No
Oh my
way.
God, man. Does he jump more? Is he jumping?
You're not gonna believe it?
Jump good.
Yes.
No!
I bet they never,
Ah!
I bet they never
Holy
let a stupid
shit.
brother make a game.
You're not gonna believe this. There's
Ah.
What?
Oh
3?
my god, why would they let
Wait.
the Italians
Next,
let
you're
me
gonna
play?
tell me that he played baseball once.
3. He didn't play baseball once. He played it twice.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Technically 3 times, but no one cares about that game.
At least they never made that blue fucker into a movie.
Is there a Mario movie?
I mean,
There's 2.
there's 2. Technically 3.
Technically, they're
Yeah, technically 3. Count that Japanese one.
Yeah.
Guess what? Why?
Oh, this is blowing my mind.
Man, I wonder what happened to
I
my
didn't know
favorite
this
game
would
company, Sega.
Yeah, I wonder if they run on.
They're doing great, pal.
What kind of
They're doing
consoles
great.
have they been making?
They're
Genesis,
doing great, man.
Genesis Mini. What's this? What about where's their new
Yeah,
console?
I wonder how my favorite game company Konami is doing.
You know, they're making really good coin pushers. I'm not gonna lie. I've been obsessed with their round 1 coin pusher.
I love gambling.
coin-
I love
Oh.
gambling.
Dude, that's my
go
secret addiction.
gambling.
It's just coin pushers, especially the
Never-
Angry Bird one.
You need to
Never
play.
give up.
You need to play the Konami one, Smash Stadium. It's so fucking addicting. Holy shit.
You gotta play the Angry Bird one and get the tower, and then just push it down.
The
Agreed.
Castlevania one looks pretty cool too. Not gonna lie. I love gambling.
I've seen it. Mainly I know that we've seen it is because when we went to round 1 last time, I immediately looked at it and said, "Is that the guy in DVD?"
Seen TBD. What's that? What's DVD?
Is that the one with the Five Nights at Freddy? Five Nights at
Guys,
DVD.
I was in a
Ar,
coma
ar,
for
ar.
33 years. What's going on?
what is Five Nights at Freddy's?
It's Five Nights at Freddy's. You're scaring
Is
me.
that another one of those Chuck E. Cheese?
What's Minecraft?
What is that? Jack Black?
What's that?
Are they still letting kids go down to the mines?
Chicken lava.
I thought they banned that.
Back in my day, we would go to those mines and we would yearn.
I think this bit is lasting a little too
Yeah,
long.
what happened to the
I'm
Switch
really
2?
sorry.
We like
Hey.
the Switch 2. Yes, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it looks pretty
No.
cool, but
That was a pretty cool
Bring
console.
back
there's
the
only a
DS.
I'm
I
kind
think
of
they should bring back the Wii U.
I am
I
disappointed.
think this is the new Wii U. I think I think we need to admit how bad this thing is. Bring back the DS. Bring back the novelty.
I do miss
I
like
think
lower
we-
budget handheld type games, like from the DS,
Actually,
3DS.
fair.
Yeah, not $70 games.
Correction, $80. Correction, $90 if you want it physical.
Oh man, can't wait for GTA 6 V100. Let's
Oh
go.
boy,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Toby,
on
you were
5
saying
discs.
something?
What was I saying?
You were saying something.
I'm
were
just
saying
disappointed
words.
about how backwards compatibility works with the Switch 2. It's not native; it's gonna be emulated, so that's kind of a
Like
bummer.
half emulated.
Still, I don't know.
For our audience members that do not understand what that means, and totally not anyone in this podcast, could you explain it to them in layman's terms? Because I know what it means.
Can you
obviously.
explain it in Fortnite terms,
like-
please?
It's
Please.
I don't play
Please,
Fortnite. How can I explain this?
Marvel
in
Rivals would also be
Marvel Rivals terms.
Maybe
Please.
Minecraft terms.
Yeah, please, in Roblox terms.
Oh my god, I
In
never,
FNAF
I
terms,
genuinely never
please.
even played Roblox. I can't even
Please, in
tell you.
Tycoon terms.
Um,
I don't know
okay,
unless it's the
But
Tycoon.
like, yeah.
Okay. In Roblox terms, it's like when you play Tekken and then you play the Roblox Tekken. I don't know what it's called. That's
yeah,
basically
yeah, I
what.
know
That's
what you
basically
mean.
the Switch 2 playing Switch 1 games. It's
Yeah, I guess that
we
makes
have
sense.
Tekken at home basically.
We have Tekken at home. I love we have Tekken at home. That's my favorite Tekken.
Oh, real.
I'm
But,
gonna
like-
tag 2.
Yo, we need a tag 3. Come on, Harada. Tekken 8 is cooked. Just make a tag 3 already.
Make Tekken X Free Fighter, you know?
Honestly,
Fine. We've been waiting for this.
make it a Switch 2 exclusive. Make it $100.
No.
You stop giving Nintendo ideas. They listen to everything.
Yeah, because
Even the
Nintendo
bad
loves
advice.
us. Guys, I didn't tell you this, but Miyamoto's actually my uncle's best friend, so I'm gonna shoot him this idea right now. He's drafting it as we speak.
Whoa.
He's your uncle's best friend's cousin.
My uncle's best friend's cousin. John Nintendo.
Hey, you know, we can all have a famous celebrity related to us. my cousin of an uncle's best friend. You know, but in all seriousness, you know, I think with everything going on with the Switch 2, you know, part of it's its own fault, part of it outside of its own control that we legally cannot talk about here on this podcast for legal reasons. You know, it comes to a point where, like, you know, I feel like the launch of this console is just such a mess, and it might even rival the PlayStation 5 in terms of the mess it is.
Just in terms of
It's just-
availability, or what do you mean?
Availability. I would say just like overall, like, you know, discourse, availability. You know, this console is already being scalped more than the PS5 even was. You know, and with all of the limitations regarding around it, it's definitely going to create a very like hostile environment for probably about a year, I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how Nintendo is going to respond, because I will say, you know, I give Sony a lot of shit for the things they've done. I will give Sony a little credit. The decisions they made with the PS5 due to the lack of availability of it were actually fairly good. They kept things running. They kept games on the old consoles. You know, a lot of companies, Microsoft, would have probably just said, nah, F it, I don't care. But, you know, I'll give them a little credit in that regard, because it at least, like, you know, provided good for gamers for a while until this PS5 became more available. So I'm hoping Nintendo will do the same.
I don't know. Them raising the price on the PS5 right now is kind of questionable. But you're talking about past Sony, like
I'm
yeah.
talking about past Sony regards to like allow it having still keeping up support for the PS4 while the PS5 was pretty much unavailable.
Mhm.
Was a major stick, because they did not have to do that. They could have just said sucks to suck. We are only releasing PS5 games. Now some of that's probably money driven a little bit, because obviously they could make money that way, but like that's what I mean by that. I don't mean any other decisions Sony has made in like the last like year.
Mhm. Fair.
And I just hope Nintendo does the same, you know. I hope for like at least a year or so they have Switch compatible game, like Switch 2 games are on the Switch, minus Mario Kart.
I mean, they did have that Nintendo Direct just before the Switch 2 Direct, so yeah, Switch 1 support is still very much
Yeah,
Working
I'm just
well.
hoping they do it like because Sony they are not up until recently. They still have. I mean, like I think next year will be the first year that uh, which is always the lowest hanging fruit, but like the sports games will all be next gen only.
Mm.
Next year will be the first year for that, which is pretty
Damn.
awesome to be honest.
Yeah, because didn't the PS4 come out like 10 years ago?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Metal Gear old.
Oh, yeah. Sad.
So I'm hoping Nintendo takes the same playbook. I mean, I think it's gonna blow up on a lot of these scalpers' faces. I know people were rushing to get the Switch 2, but I also kind of feel like the demand for the Switch 2 isn't as big as people are making it out to be.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think people want it, but like I think people are more or less just gonna wait. You know, like I'm waiting for the holidays most likely before to get it. I think it's gonna become a thing where I think it will level out, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. The Switch 1 is definitely their biggest contingency. Like they're definitely not going to drop support. It's kind of like when the Switch released and the 3DS was like their contingency, but since the Switch did super well, they're like, okay, time to kill the 3DS for real.
Yeah.
I feel like Nintendo, even if they still have like a good, like they're not a stupid company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know people want to shoot. Like I don't think there will be any like
They're
supply
they
issues
got rid
at
of
all.
DS.
Oh, that's
I mean,
fair.
yeah, but
I'm so upset.
I think it's I don't know. I am comparing them to listen, for all our viewers out there, you can fight with me, fight with the wall. I am comparing them to like literally the scummiest company. And I'm sorry to say these words right now. It is not Sony, it is fucking Microsoft. Microsoft is a very, very scummy company. The practices they do are very American. And, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that they honestly had competitors, I honestly think they would ruin the market further. But at the end of the day, like, you know, that's low hanging fruit, I guess.
Mm.
yeah.
Because Microsoft is very, very not great. And neither is Sony, but like, and I'm not sparking the console wars here. Let me just say that.
Sega, we
I'm
need
talking
you to
about business
come back and
practices.
make a new console.
Yeah, we do need Sega back.
Make the Dreamcast 2. I promise you, it'll sell.
Yes, all
need
10
it,
Sega
bro.
fans will buy it.
I will be there no matter
Yeah!
what.
Make it Miku themed, we're good to go.
Oh, they could.
Um,
They could.
They could. They have the right.
They do have the rights. I do think as well, though, you know, I don't know what I was going to say with regards to that. It was something related to all of that. I drew a blank, you know. Switch 2 is probably going to be able to run games, you know, maybe at more than 3
I think
frames.
you're lying.
There's no proof.
Maybe at more than 3 frames a second. We'll see, though.
How,
you know,
how's it gonna run? It doesn't have legs. Come on, don't be silly.
Oh my
What's
god.
what's your sources? I
Yeah,
don't
what's your
know.
sources?
Game
source?
reporters.
I just, you know, I just want to, you know, maybe there'll be a Switch Kingdom Hearts version, you know. Maybe
That's not
maybe
Yeah, that
cloud.
isn't like a cloud
Yeah.
version.
maybe the cloud version won't have to exist anymore. Because for those of you that don't know, I think it's funny because it never gets talked about. I think that's single-handedly the worst cloud port ever. It
Wait, you got
literally
it?
doesn't run. No, but I've seen people talk about it. I almost bought it. I was very close to it if it wasn't for people. It literally, like, it will not run. Like, the button delay we're talking is, like, in the 30 to 40 second range.
Dear
It's actually
Lord.
so bad. You physically cannot play it. It's so awful.
That's crazy.
Another diss on Kingdom Hearts fans.
You know,
Never.
not gonna
The
lie.
company loves them.
If you actually got that port, I would be so upset. Like,
I
genuinely
almost
upset,
bought
dude.
it. I actually had it in my cart
Why?
the day it released.
Oh,
Because I love
on
Kingdom Hearts
release
and I wanted to
too?
play it on the Switch
Oh.
Switch. And then I saw people's reviews online and I saw the button delay thing and I was like, I'll never be able to play with my internet.
Oh god. Yeah.
Shout
That was
out
before
Cloud
it.
Gaming.
I love cloud
Yeah,
gaming.
that was before.
Yeah, remember On Live? Classic.
Remember the Ouya?
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Dude, I fucking bought Guilty
Yeah.
Gear on the Switch. I hate my life.
When you buy Guilty Gear on the Switch.
You
Yes.
talk to yourself.
Guilty Gear.
Yeah,
What's
but
that?
I bought a real fighting game, Arcanian Heart on the PS2.
Yo,
yeah,
Arcana
like,
Heart's pretty peak though. I'm not even gonna lie.
yeah,
Nah.
one of my good games.
Nah, I had real peak. Check out what is it called? Ultra Fight
Dude,
Dr.
yes,
2.
fucking hop on Ultra Fight right now. Let's play that shit right now.
I will legitimately.
It's so peak.
I can't set up the port forwarding, but I would totally play it, man.
Wait, that's how the online works? I never actually tried playing online.
Yeah, that play you have to do port forwarding.
Dude, let's just play with Steam Remote Play. It's fucking Ultra Fight.
I
We don't
tried
have
that with a
to.
friend.
We don't have
I tried it
to.
with a friend. We couldn't get it working.
Aw, seriously?
Stop trying to force people to friend you on Steam.
Yes, be my friend on Steam. Add me on Steam.
I have a question. I have a question.
You might have
That
an
sparked
answer.
from a conversation I had at work. So we were talking about the consoles, in terms of like profitability and selling, and Nintendo, I believe, currently holds 6 of the top 10 spots. I believe
Whoa. Game
it's
Boy,
really high than
DS, Wii, Switch.
Game Boy, DS, Wii, Switch, GameCube.
No way, definitely not the GameCube. That's impossible.
Nothing.
Let me look at
Yeah, that's
let me
It's
look it up.
like the NES or one of them.
Yeah, it might be the NES. The list right now is PS2, Nintendo DS, Switch, Game Boy, PS4, PS, Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, Game Boy Advance, PSP, 3DS. I think it's more than 10, but they have 4 to 5. And I'm just wondering, do we think the Switch 2 is gonna, be there?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's
Really?
gonna tank, but it's probably gonna do like fine.
It'll be
but
like
not.
the SNES was to the NES, where it still sold well, but it's not gonna overtake its predecessor.
Yeah.
Damn. Honestly, I know it's early in like lifespans for a bunch of these consoles, but I forget how when I look at this list how like poor Xbox does. Like, damn.
Yeah, but Microsoft doesn't
Yeah.
really rely on games as like their main source of income, so they're just chilling.
That's fair. I just think it's interesting. Because Nintendo is very well known for making a lot of consoles that like do tend to historically do very, very well, which is
and also
good.
fucking bomb like the Virtual Boy.
Yeah. The Virtual Boy.
What do you mean? That was so cool. I love playing Mario Tennis and
In 3D.
red and blue. Yeah, like red and black. Such a great color
I
scheme.
love Waterworld, where the water's was it red or black?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
I think it was black.
Okay, the Red Sea would have been really peak though. It takes all colors to make a rainbow.
It takes all colors to make a rainbow. Unrelated though, I just wanted to note this. I'm not sparking the console war or anything at all. I swear. But isn't it a little weird that PlayStation randomly just has like all of the top 10 spots?
Well,
like all of their consoles except for the PS5, which isn't.
Yeah, but does it have a Hello Kitty Island Adventure version of its console?
The Dreamcast has a Hello Kitty version, so +1 to the
that's
Dreamcast.
true.
Hello Kitty.
Too bad it
I'm just
tanked.
a quiet.
Because the fucking PS2 killed it. Fuck the PS2, bruh. Underpowered.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
PS2
PS2 is
whoa,
the best
whoa.
selling console of all time.
What is this,
No hating on the
PS2
PS2.
slander?
Fuck, yeah,
PS2
you know
is
what, Console
great.
Wars?
Fuck
Fuck
you.
the
but I'm the
PS2.
issue when I give a
we
Switch to the DS.
we are having a console war. What the fuck is this PS2 disrespect?
Okay,
Dude.
look,
The PS2 was holding it down for decades.
The PS2 is still holding it down. The PS2 still
Holding it
numbers
down.
rest.
Sony keeps finding sales from out of nowhere to make sure it keeps its spot because it goddamn deserves it.
It's like, oops, I dropped my
5
sales
million
over here.
copies. Oh, where did that come
It's like
from?
every year 5 million more PS2 show up.
It fucking deserves it.
Sure, the Switch is catching up to us in sales. What do we do? Drop another 500 sales now.
Dude, I bet the Sega Master System's still getting fucking sales in Brazil, though. That
Yeah.
console will never die.
They got a Sonic 1 on there.
Sonic
Classic.
Blast.
Yeah.
What?
I just like I don't know. It's not like console sales are not an indication of anything, like especially quality. But like it is just really interesting to see because like I think there is quite a bit of debate about like like what draws people to consoles, and I think Sony and Nintendo have really captured that well.
I mean,
Nintendo.
yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Go,
No,
go
you
ahead.
go. Finish your thought before.
I was just gonna say Nintendo's really good at kind of appealing to like that younger age group and demographic. Their consoles have always been more for like a family situation. I mean, the Wii is the ultimate family console. The Switch was a really good family console. The DS was like a good kids on the go console. And then Sony, on the other hand, has just been really good at like story-based games. That's what they've always had their MMO on, and they've kind of killed it. I think it's funny because it's like it's interesting to me because like I think if you talk to a lot of people had Xboxes as a kid or stuff like that. I remember playing like Call of Duty or Halo and all those games. And I think it's funny because Xbox was kind of more of that like multiplayer console
the
as a
dude bro
kid.
console, yeah.
The dude bro console, and it's
Not
interesting because
to
it's like
belittle that.
I distinctly remember a lot of divorced dads having it.
yeah.
The
What
divorced
were you gonna
dad
say though, Toby?
console. No, I was just gonna say the
They were
reason
one
why
of
the
the-
PS2
the
sold
creed of
so well
consoles.
is because it's a multimedia system. Like it doesn't just play
Yeah.
games; it plays CDs, DVDs. So families could be like, "Oh, this is only $100, and I can watch Space Jam DVD."
Yeah, I can
Oh,
listen
I
to
love
my
Well-
Green Day albums on this. Yes.
Yes, but like that's kind of like my point I'm making though is like both like Sony and Nintendo found ways to market to such like an interesting appeal of people.
Mhm.
And like get into it, and it's something that I'm interested with, like because like the Xbox 360 is sitting at like number 8 or 9 on this list, and it's interesting because like that's the console, like I think if most people asked like what was like their childhood console besides the Wii, I think it would be the Xbox 360 for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I think it's interesting because it's like it brings up an interesting conversation about like like what did people have for the reasonings they had it, and I think that's my favorite thing with like talking about consoles. It's like the purpose of them. And I always say this, and forever say this: Nintendo kills it with family stuff. Sony has legitimately always been the story based. I mean, they have some of the greatest story based games of all time.
Mhm.
And Xbox has just kind of been that console on the side that's just like, hey, that's what all your 15-year-old dude bro friends play when
Yeah,
you were 15.
Halo multiplayer.
Halo
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And
poggers, man.
and it's interesting to see because it's like it doesn't like negate any of the other consoles' charms, and like obviously there's interaction between all of it, but like it really kind of shows in like sales numbers and like way people played it because like it makes sense to me that the Xbox 360 is not that high, but high enough it's the highest of the Xbox because that was the golden era.
Mhm. Like they built a lot of good
Wanna go to
faith
your
with the
dad's
original
house?
Xbox
Need
too.
something to make you look cool? Get
Yeah.
a DS. Or get the Xbox. I fucked up.
And also because the PS3 was $599 when it first launched, so people are like, "Okay,
Yeah.
the family's getting an Xbox because it's cheaper."
And you can see it as well though, but like those released at the same that is the only time Xbox and Sony have ever been neck and neck in terms of sales releases. But I mean you can just see it's like, PS4 is literally PS4 and Xbox One are the same year. PS4 has a 60 million console surplus on the Xbox One. And it's interesting to me because I think it's like I think we're moving into this era where like I'll be honest with you, most people that have Xboxes are just getting PCs. And I'm not even going to bring PC into this because like obviously I've heard everyone say it and be like, well, PC's everything, and it's like
It
yes,
is, but that's not the point.
that
Yeah.
is true. That is not the point. I think it's interesting because it's like PlayStation has found a way to kind of encapsulate like their fans, their people. I'm a person that like grew up. I had an Xbox 360. I got my PS3. I got a PS4. I got a PS5. I'll get a PS6 at some point in my life. I just really like PlayStation. I think they just done an amazing job at like doing that, and that's how I feel about Nintendo too. I don't know. It's just like it's interesting to me with this Switch 2 release because I think we're entering another precipice of a new era of gaming, and I think it's going to become less and less about like what is the games and more or less just like because like at some point all the consoles are the same thing. It's just like what separates them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think like the big differences between like the sales of like the same generations, I think it always comes down to like what these consoles offer beyond just being a spot to play your game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like the Xbox 360, like in every like grouping, like Xbox and PS2, 360, PS3, what Xbox One, PS4, and was it Series X and PS5. Sony's
Mhm.
always ahead. The only spot that Microsoft even caught up was with the 360. And I think that's just because the 360 was like
And
a
in the end, they
really
still lost that. Like PS3
they
still
still
sold more in the
lost,
end.
but
Yeah.
catching up to Sony is a victory.
Yeah.
Like, keep in mind, this is
Really
a company
is.
that has 160 million on the PS2 and counting somehow. It's,
It's something
and I
I
think it
do.
just shows how far Microsoft has fallen, honestly, because like
Yeah.
there's no reason to get an Xbox One or a Series X.
hmm
I,
It just
I think
works.
I think it's interesting because it's analyzing the space from like what is necessary. And it's funny because like I feel like at some point we're gonna loop back to this idea because like I think Xbox 360 and PS3 era was the peak competition era. We also had the Wii at that point. That was very much like every console fighting for your money type of thing.
Mhm.
And I felt like all of them have their own things. I'm interested if Sony's ever gonna like, because Sony also released the PSP during that era, which I feel like was a direct competitor to the 3DS and the DS. It was
It
like,
was more
well,
of a
the DS,
DS
but
competitor. Yeah, the Vita was a
yeah,
3DS
I was just
competitor.
Yeah.
I was just saying 3DS because it was in my mind. I meant DS, but yeah, I I think it's interesting because I think we're gonna loop back to that point of like real competition again. Because like I mean, Nintendo's been left unchecked in like the family gaming market for like 30 years now. And I'm wondering if we'll ever get back to that point. I think we will at some point get back to that point because like I said, at some point, technology gets so advanced, everything just kind of levels off.
Mm.
So I'm curious, like, what's gonna happen in the future with that, and that's why I'm interested with the Switch 2 because, to be honest, my biggest issue with the Switch 2 is while it's really awesome and cool that like it is a huge hardware upgrade, it's not pushing the game crazy, and I mean, take something that's not as good. I want to note this: the Steam Deck, for example. The Steam Deck is probably more powerful than the Switch 2, I would assume. I don't know the exact processing data, but it's probably pretty close. If that ever type of technology was pushed by like say Sony came up with that, would they be willing to like compete with like a Switch 2 in terms of like a family gaming market? That's what I'm interested
Mhm.
in the future, because like in all intents and purposes, the Switch 2 isn't impressive. Like nothing's really sticking out on paper. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's got a good processor. It's gonna run a lot better. It's gonna be a good handheld console. It's like basically the next step of handheld. But like, is that really what people want nowadays? And I'm interested because like I feel like one of the reasons we're seeing this conversation with the whole money and like how much everything is because Nintendo doesn't have that competitor pushing
Mhm.
them.
Yeah,
To be honest.
I guess their biggest competitor for mobile is just like mobile phone games, but even then, that's a
Yeah.
completely different beast in itself.
I just feel like is it time for like one of those, to push in? And I understand that they've been kind of left unchecked for a while, but like I do feel like in the early 2000s, like that early 2010s era, when or like mid 2000s when that PS3, Xbox 360, Wii thing was, it was very much like they did have to fight because people were getting those other consoles. I don't know. I want to see it because I think it would benefit the industry as a whole. It's the same reason I'd want Xbox to actually like come back
Yeah.
because it's better when they're fighting
Mm-hmm.
because they have to try then. They can't just like, coast by on their laurels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how we got something like the Wii U, which let me say the Wii U is not bad. It's just the Wii U was a huge downgrade.
No,
to
no,
the
no,
Wii.
no, no, don't lie. Don't lie. It was bad.
And I think a lot of that was Nintendo was not pushing for it. And you saw when their sales collapsed, they had to make something new. And the Switch, honestly, was a
Yeah,
huge
they were super desperate.
innovator.
And now they're
Yeah.
super cocky. That's why it's like 450 Switch 2. We know people we don't care if people don't buy it or not. We got the fucking moneymaker Switch right here. There's more of like a
Yeah.
I feel like they're taking the exact same steps Sega took when they marketed the Genesis and the Sega Saturn. I don't know if anyone remembers the history before that.
Yeah.
But the Genesis is gonna keep living forever, baby. We'll just keep giving it upgrades like the 32X Sega
Oh
CD.
man, Sega
then
CD.
The Sega
Oh,
Saturn
man.
was the premium thing for the real gamers, but that ended up fucking tanking. But I don't think Nintendo is gonna tank like what happened with Sega with the not Dreamcast, with the Saturn and Genesis.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
don't think
waiting for my copy of Sonic Extreme on Sega Saturn. Or is it
Yeah.
or
I'm
is it
still
Sega?
waiting for
Come
Mighty
on.
Number 9 on 3DS.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but like, you know, I think it's interesting that people are not pushing them. Like, obviously, yes, they cannot meet demand. How much of that is actually like I know some people, but like most people I've talked to, and it's a large majority of people, are not that interested in the Switch 2. Most people are like, I'll get it at some point if I
Mhm.
really want to get it. I haven't really heard that many people clamoring to get it, minus a couple diehard fans. And I think that's interesting because, like, obviously these sale numbers right now cannot prove anything. I mean, we're living in a day and age where, like, legitimately, if something is limited, it will be bought to be resold. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if that's like the freaking toilet paper, the cure to cancer, whatever it is. If it is of limited quality, somehow someone will try to make money. That's just
Fucking
how
you
we
say
are.
that, and I'm just reminded of limited run games and their
Yeah.
whole
Dude,
marketing gimmick, and it just pisses me
I
off.
saw that. I saw that video you sent.
You
and
watched
was
it?
like,
I'm like,
yeah, I
dude,
watched
it's
it.
insane. This
in
is
the
like a
background,
fucking
and I was just like, bro.
evil company, the
yeah.
evil ass rape building, bro. I don't think I can say that on
Yeah.
stream.
But it's just like it sucks because like I think they need to. I think the Switch 2 needs to fail a little bit, in like a sense of like not be as big of a success as the Switch for them to actually push themselves. And it's the way I honestly feel with all of these consoles, because even the PS5, for as much as I like it's just a PS4 that doesn't sound like a jet engine. It has some decent graphical upgrades, like
I mean, it still doesn't even have any games.
Real.
All right, hear me
I'm-
out. I will only like it if we get another Mario versus Sonic Olympic.
okay, yeah.
I don't think
That's fine.
Sega has the rights to the Olympic Games anymore.
Bruh.
You have to have the rights of that.
Yeah, you do have to have the Olympic PA.
Yeah, I don't think they have it anymore.
Make your own.
They should have Miku as like
Mario,
a guest
Sonic.
character.
Yes,
Yo,
they have the rights to the same. That's why I feel like Monkey Ball is such a good game. Is because you can they put fucking Godzilla in there.
Mario and Sonic playing some sports. That's the game.
Monkey.
It's not games.
Playing sports against Miku, Godzilla,
John
Shadow
Cena.
the Hedgehog,
Azuma Kiryu.
Among Us.
Oh my god.
Among Us. Like you have
From
so much
Minecraft.
opportunities.
Wait.
Like look at you got the Smash characters. Put Steve from Minecraft in
Wait.
there.
Wait. Did you say Minecraft?
Oh
I
man,
am
Chicken jockey,
Steve.
chicken jockey, chicken jockey. Chicken jockey, flint and steel.
Light
Oh,
your
what a
wingsuit.
fucking release! I want to trash a movie theater. I want to burn it down to the ground.
Let me bring a live chicken. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
yo,
throw
so
people
that's
popcorn
actually did
everywhere.
that. That's a sad thing.
That's so funny. Oh man,
It's
I'm
so
gonna
funny,
record this on
man.
my TikTok. It's
I
gonna
love
be
that I love that I made a minimum wage employee re-clean up all this popcorn that I bought and paid $20 for. Haha,
We
what a
literally
funny
watched
joke.
people
I love
destroy a seat in front of us
all the
and had to
TikTok
go,
clout I'm
not my
getting.
monkey, not my circus.
Yeah, anyway, guys, the Minecraft movie
Like
3 weeks ago.
I refuse to see that movie.
I don't blame
Same.
you. You're probably the smart one. You're probably the right one.
It's something. Like I feel like I keep getting bullied for being upset about it.
The Minecraft movie is actually the Emoji movie. And now hear me out for a second before
Hear
I
me
say
out a
Bad.
second. Hear me
Bad.
out a second. I
Bad.
like the Emoji Movie more.
okay, well,
I
you get
actually
out of here.
laughed at the Emoji
No,
Movie.
Does the
Minecraft.
Minecraft movie have a goth girl?
Yo,
No,
these are the real
like out of
questions.
everything you could have done, they didn't put a fucking goth girl in there.
No, see, the Emoji movie in the Minecraft same, because the Emoji movie was hated on and said it was going to be so bad. But then people started seeing it, and there was like a percentage of the people that saw it that were like, "Wow, this is awful. I love it." And they actually thought it convinced themselves it was a good movie. And now there's actually a group of people that think the Emoji movie
I
is a
thought
good
the
movie.
Emoji Movie was funny
Exactly.
when I saw it.
Exactly. This is the point. It's actually Stockholm syndrome. It's literally insane. And that's
I
what the
think it's
Minecraft
also the
movie is.
atmosphere of how people are seeing it. Because if you go in like we did, where it was a bunch of middle-aged, it wasn't even
Right.
kids.
Uh,
There was kids, but it was a bunch of middle-aged women laughing at a Jeep Cherokee joke.
I just hit you with my Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Buy one now.
And everyone just started laughing ridiculously hard.
I
Like,
love the Minecraft movie. It's
I
so
love
cool.
It's so cool. Like I
So
just
cool.
I actually like can't because like it's just there's no joy. There's no like the second time we saw it, I had like a little more fun with it, but it was still really bad. It's just
Hmm.
I
like
also never felt so much anger against a kid I've never met before.
yeah, that kid kind of sucks. The
Dude, I
lead, the
hate
lead
the
in that
kid in the
movie is
movie.
not great.
Such a bitch.
It's pretty bad when I'm actually saying things like, "Man, Jason Momoa is not doing that bad in this movie." I do not like Jason Momoa, guys. Jason Momoa is like one of the like most annoying actors in Hollywood, and he was actually like okay in that film, and that scares me.
What do you have against Jason Momoa?
Yeah, he played Aquaman, the
Um,
greatest superhero ever.
He is really, really not great. If I talked about the things he's done, probably get me on a list.
Oh,
Um,
now that you said Aquaman, I think I remember some things he's done.
Yeah, there's also controversy with this movie as well. During the set photos of this, but that's kind of not like here nor there.
it's also like the fact of like his whole character was kind of worthless. Like
Yeah,
you could have done so much, and even the like. Can I spoil it? Are we okay with it if no one's gonna see it?
Yeah, I mean it's been
Come on, don't
enough
spoil the
time.
Minecraft movie for us.
I get why they had to limit the cameos because of so much controversy with Minecraft YouTubers. But you
Yikes.
put Afmal in there. You put the bitch who got in trouble for like basically making porn for like kids or something. I don't know. It was weird. But like it just felt so minuscule and it was 2 seconds
but
of Dan
yeah,
TMM putting his hand up at an
but
auction.
he looked at the camera and he did the "Howdy there, partner." Like what you not entertained by the fact that Dan TDM did that? Oh my god.
I just think it's so rude to like I get this movie was supposed to be to the younger generation of brain rot, but in my opinion, you were catering too much to brain rot and not enough to your actual people who like started you in the industry.
To me, it actually kind of feels exactly like. And I don't know everyone's feelings on this movie, so stop me if I'm gonna make someone sad, upset, or angry. How I felt while watching the Mario movie, but to a worse extent.
Oh, the Mario movie was
Um,
not good. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I don't.
it just like it felt like a
You
bunch
say
of
that, I had
references.
Chris Pratt.
It felt
See,
like a
my
bunch
thing
of
is
like,
it felt like
uh,
Jumanji to me.
it felt like a bunch of oh my god, guys, that's in the game. Ho ho ho! Funny joke. Haha. It doesn't feel like it actually cares about the property, and it's just there to be like, hey guys, Miyamoto here. Mario.
Do you guys remember that from Mario? Do you guys remember
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mario from
You guys
Mario?
remember
Rainbow
Mario?
Road, Mario Kart. You guys like Mario Kart?
Luigi?
You guys like Mario Kart?
It really felt like the
Donkey Kong.
Jumanji remakes to me.
Yeah.
I agree, especially the second one. Like that. I don't
Just
even know why I watched the
tired
second
of
Jumanji remake. That
haha
one
funny
was
Jack Black. Also, the music shit did not
Oh,
need
the
to
music's
be in
horrible in that
it.
film. That score is actually awful.
I actually
Like,
kind of like the Jumanji
I've
movie
heard
though. Am I wrong for that?
I
no
like the
the
I like the first one better. The second one was
no no
very
no no
Like the first
the
sequel or the
one
original? What do you
with
mean by
the
that?
Rock.
Yeah,
The
The one with
one
the rock.
the first
with
Rock one
the
or the
Rock.
second Rock? Because there's two Jumanji
Both of them,
sequels.
they both suck, Toby.
The first sequel wasn't that bad. I liked
No, Toby.
I think it's
No,
Dude,
it's
Kevin
it's
Hart's
the
so fucking
propaganda
funny,
of putting the Rock in a
guys.
movie,
I think
and
it's
then
okay. I think the first one is
We
I
okay.
think
think it's
Kevin
the
Hart.
It's not
propaganda
as
of
good as
putting the
Black
Rock in a
Adam, though.
movie,
Jack
and
Black
then
Jack
Adam
everyone's
was
like,
definitely the best rock movie,
Jack
you know?
Black. Does Jack Black kiss Nick Jonas?
I think that's another issue as we're doing the whole Jack Black movie. Like you're forgetting that he's not that good when he's just playing himself. Like literally, the Minecraft movie, like Steve has been a character that they built for years and shit, and Jack Black just played himself.
But he is placing blocks and shit because he is fucking
But also, I think it'd be
Minecraft.
so funny if he just didn't fucking talk the entire
That would
movie.
have been funnier. I
You
just
know,
feel
like the whole game. that we grew up playing.
I think the issue with a lot of it is just like this is a territory where genuinely we are getting these movies that just do not care about being a movie for the material. They know fans will go see it. They know that people will like genuinely just be like, "Oh, funny reference. Oh, funny thing." And it's just there to like make a quick buck off of it.
You say
I
that.
mean,
Oh, sorry. Continue.
you say what were you gonna say that? You're gonna say you say that and then you defend FNAF.
No, I'm gonna say the Sonic movies.
But here's my
No,
thing
because
with the
the
Sonic
Sonic movies
movie.
were actually like
Yeah,
they actually listened
yeah. That's
after a
why.
while because they had to get bullied into it, but they actually listened to fans, and even then, uh, Sonic has always been a thing that carried out through the ages of newer generations, but they didn't stick with the fucking brain rot. This movie is a brain rot movie. It was haha stupid one liner that somebody can repeat for ages.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's just, the biggest issue with it as well is just like we're entering this like it doesn't send the right message to studios because studios are just looking at this as purely like this movie made a ton of money, people went to go see it, it got people in the seats, you know, and to be honest, it really did not cost Microsoft or Warner Brothers or any of the studios making it that much money to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like it's basically saying to these companies and saying to these people like if
They
you
like
want to
slop.
succeed with this, all you have to do is just have a property that people know. And this is like it's getting into that territory I think I've talked about before where I worry about the future of just like and I'm going to sound pretentious here for a second, cinema as a whole because like it's less, actively wanting to make something that's interesting or new and more just we need to fill seats and make money. So sequel hell, IP hell, just grab a random thing that has been popular in years, figure out a way to get people hyped about it, and then yeah, there we go. Bam, success. And
I mean,
I think go ahead.
no,
I'm sorry.
you finish.
I just think it's going down the wrong path, and it's teaching studios that they don't have to really be original or creative. That they can just like do whatever they want and get by. And I just want to see us as people, hold them more accountable of it. Like, when a movie like this comes out, you can go see it, but like, you know, maybe don't see it 4 times. Maybe like actually just like hold off on it. I don't know. I'm not gonna speak on how people should spend their money, but like, I think there's way much better we could do with our time and our.
Hmm.
Yeah, this just isn't a new problem, unfortunately. Like,
It's not.
I mean,
I feel like this
it's
is a
honestly
day of
it's
age problem.
yeah, it's impressive that there actually was a Minecraft movie even made because like I feel like 10 years ago it just never would have happened. Honestly, not saying the Minecraft movie is like a monument to art because it's not. It's not even close. It's just it's somehow the most original IP that they're actually making a movie about.
Yeah.
In this day and age, yeah.
Yeah, like because we got Lilo and Stitch live action
Oh
remake coming
boy.
up.
We
How to
got
Train
another
Your
one.
Dragon
Oh
live action
boy.
remake coming up. Final Destination reboot or
Sequel.
yeah,
Yeah.
Another
Reboot
Scream
sequel.
movie.
requel.
Another I know
Another
what you did
Scream.
last summer
Fiftieth
movie.
fucking Scream movie. Don't get me started on not Scream
No
movie.
scream talk.
We're talking about this, and we actually do have an original movie coming that came out. It's Sinners. And it's doing
Yeah.
pretty
I
decent
would
at the
really
box office
appreciate
from
if
what
we
I've
waited
seen.
because I really would like to see that movie. I'm actually very excited to learn about that movie. Well, Mickey 17.
It's based on a
Sure.
That
book,
was a
though,
good
right?
original movie. Is it?
Yes, it's based on
Yes.
a book.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
originally called Mickey 7 or something, right? But they called it Mickey
Yeah.
17 because I don't know.
Actually, wait, we do have an original movie coming out. Sneaks.
What's that?
Hey, wait,
Wait,
hold on.
what?
I have ample evidence of this. So we had Sneaks in theater last week. Would anyone like to guess the total amount of dollars it made inside
$7?
of our very conservative town?
Okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna
do you even
say
know what Sneaks is? I'll explain the premise.
Yeah.
Should I?
35.
I know what Sneaks is.
No, do they? Do
I don't even know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know if they
Like,
Yeah,
do.
I'll be real. I
Okay,
have no idea.
Sneaks is a movie about a world where shoes are alive, and it's about a pair of shoes that get stolen from a kid or
Mhm.
lost,
Yeah,
and
I believe they're
that's all I
stolen.
know about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up and it literally looks like a straight to DVD movie that you just see in the $5 bargain bin at
Uh,
Walmart.
Wait,
So fun fact
Chris
about
Paul plays himself in the movie.
that's funny. I gotta see this now. Okay, never mind. But it's actually funny because I don't. I guess for legal reasons, I should say. One of my bosses made a comment this week when he was like, "What the hell is Sneaks? It looks like some like $5 garbage bargain bin stuff." So it's funny that you call it that, Alex. And I was like,
It does look like it.
but okay, back to the guessing. Would anyone like to guess how much money it made that 1 week it was in theaters?
$0.
35.
$35, $0. Cat, you have a guess?
It's gonna make like 50.
Anyone else have a guess? Everyone guess.
I agree at 50. That,
So if I told you $7,
$7?
it's
What are you
$7.
fucking serious?
So let me the premise here. So it actually would have made $16, but one person went to go see it, said, "What the hell is this?" and then walked out and asked for a refund. So it did not make $9. It only sold one ticket on our Bargain Tuesday to one guy. He watched it. I don't know his opinion on it. I should have asked. And then it didn't make any more money in the building at all.
how old was the guy?
I think he was like in his mid-30s still. It was a little odd.
Bruh.
So yeah, we Sneaks. We love Sneaks. Uh
I love Sneaks, Charlie. I love Sneaks.
Love me.
I don't know. I just looping that back to Minecraft. I know we went on a little tangent, like, but I just really want I want people to realize that once we can get past the initial satisfaction as like a fan groups to like having seeing our things on the big screen, if we don't actively like hold our dollars accountable for things, we become responsible as well for the decisions that studios make. I know people hate the live action remakes, but like they make so much money and this Lilo and Stitch is about to make so much money. You think Disney's gonna stop? They don't care.
Didn't Cinderella bomb?
Snow White.
Or Snow White?
Snow
Yeah,
White
sorry.
bombed. Snow White bombed because of a completely outsider reason, and it
Snow
was
White bombed because of like
everything around that film was destined to fail.
It's also
It
just
was
a
literally
I don't think
pretty
there's
bad
destined to
any
movie.
fail.
part of that film that worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that film was destined to fail. But like even like same with the Little Mermaid. But like Beauty and the Beast, I mean, Mufasa made $800 million.
Wait, what?
You cannot
Mufasa
really.
made $800 million. Yes.
Is
Yeah, I'm all the middle-aged white woman.
I mean,
Let's
they
go
did
see
say
it.
number
It's
one
like,
movie in the world.
they made $700 million?
Yeah, I almost it was close to 800. Like,
$7?
it made so much money. It made $722 million. That movie, like, there is nothing that can signifies that more. That movie is nothing. It is not anything. And this is the issue I have. I mean, Lion King 2019 made 1.6 billion. Beauty and the Beast made 1.2. Aladdin made $1 billion. It's like we give them all this money and then we complain about live action remakes. Just make more.
not me.
Mufasa was number
I
6.
don't either.
He's the number 6 movie of 2024.
Yes, it's insane. I actually physically can't like understand it because like it's insane to me for this decision making, and it is purely like the live action remakes that don't do well are in a specific category. And even then, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I can't talk about that here because I get slightly political. But like, genuinely, like these movies make tons of money for no reason. I mean, that How to Train Your Dragon one is going to make so much money. I'm going to tell you right now. And it is going to be a shot-for-shot remake of that. Lilo and Stitch looks horrible. Awful. It's going to make a ton of money.
You say that, but my siblings were like talking about it, like, doesn't it look so cute? I'm like, oh my god, it does. So like, it's not for it's a movie that
We
isn't
stop
for
talking to your
us.
family. Cut them off.
Like
you gotta be
genuinely,
lying.
no,
Cut the family
I'm
off, Toby.
serious.
Insane.
Like
They're not
it's
worth
it's
it
not
to
a movie
have.
for us,
insane.
but like the general audience, they eat that shit up.
It's
But
insane.
that's the thing is, I think I was looking at old makings of Disney movies like Tarzan and Aladdin. And a lot of people like to use the argument of like, oh, this is when they weren't trying to be woke. No, it's when they actually were paying people livable wages in the industry to actually do their passions. If you don't allow people to make their passions, like movies like Aladdin, and in my defense, I think hand drawn animation is a lot better than the CGI crap.
Well, you're not alone. It's unfortunate.
I think most people-
And
Unfortunately,
I think if I try not to be political here, if you would actually pay the movie industry what it's worth, you would get shit like Tarzan and people like Phil Collins to come back and create these generational masterpieces. But you're not going to get that if you're not going to pay them what they're worth, or you're going to sit there and continue to go see this fucking slop.
I mean, I feel like, have you heard about the whole deal with the not necessarily the production, but the marketing of Atlantis: The Lost Empire? I think it was
Yes,
Atlantis.
I know this story.
I
Where-
have not.
I know this way
So
too.
you remember that movie, right? That very
Yeah.
well done 2D animated one. This is one of the last ones that Disney did from that early era.
Yeah.
And Disney, they were done with it because at the time, I believe like 3D animators didn't have like a union or anything, not like the 2D animators did. And when you have unions, you have to actually treat your employees fairly. You have to give them
Like
time off, sick
humans.
leave. You can't have them working 80 hours a week. And they basically just tanked all the marketing on the movie.
It happened to Treasure Planet as well.
Yes,
Well,
Treasure Planet too.
And
Yep.
this also happened with, like, I don't know. It's just this continuous issue of we support these. You can't really stop. It's capitalism. We're built on capitalism. That's our whole country. But like, I feel like at this point, the most I could tell you is support your local artists because those are the people actually making the shit you want. People who are actually sitting here following their passion. The people who are, I know people who are in like the Disney college program who would continue with their passion, but that shit gets squashed very easily when you continue to go up because all people want anymore is slop and fucking brain rot.
I think the answer to that as well is just when there is movies that are, go and see them. It is like so simple. Like, listen, I will never get over. We could sit here and have a debate for hours about Wish as a movie, about what doesn't work or what does work or anything like that. No one even went to go see it. For all the people that are like, Disney doesn't make original ideas, Disney doesn't do new things, they don't go see that movie, which was an original story written by Disney. You could say what you want about it, but at least it was. But no, the next year, Inside Out 2 comes out, and for whatever that movie's worth, people just flock to that like it was some like masterpiece thing. And I'm sorry, it's a fine film, but like you're just telling Disney, oh, you will not go see our original stuff. So what are we gonna do? And what happened immediately after that? Frozen 3 and 4 got greenlit. Toy Story 5 got greenlit. Coco 2 got greenlit. Oh, Zootopia 2. Oh, Moana 2, Moana 3. Like, it's just telling these studios, okay, you won't go see this stuff, so we'll just put the same characters on screen in front of you, and you guys can deal with the rest of them. And they make money. And I can't blame them even then, because it is like we are telling them, the only things we will go see are things that we already know. We're not willing to actually expand our taste. It frustrates me. I apologize.
No, yeah.
It frustrates, especially as someone who sees this working in a box office and working in a movie theater and sees this constant tick. You know, like I think it's funny because we constantly talk about, none of my bosses or anything were prepared for FNAF or Minecraft, and we had to constantly tell them that it was going to be huge because I saw this trend coming. This is what's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. People's money is tight. I get it. You don't want to push yourself because you want to go and enjoy a movie. More likely that you'll enjoy something you're already familiar with. But at the end of the day, like there is other stuff that can exist. Every once in a while, just go out and try it. There's other movies. We don't need to see the 85th sequel of every film. And honestly, if we even just chose to not watch that stuff, it would tell these studios they have to try more. It goes back to our point with Nintendo that we made a while back during the last thing, where it's like, if we do nothing to show these people that they can't just coast on their laurels, then they're just going to do that. If we do that, they have to make decisions and they have to change. Like, and I think that's for the good of everyone. It's good for the good of the animators, for the good of the viewer, and for the good of the studios. Sorry, very passionate.
You got it exactly right. Like it's
I think
we can't expect the studio to just do things differently because some random guy on the internet says, guys, change this. Like no, we have to.
that's the thing is like, and then even the times that they do the scraps and bits, like the Sonic movie, it's only somebody who's actively passionate about their project who will be willing to change it for the fans. If they're just doing it for a paycheck, then they're just doing it for a paycheck. All right, we're talking about the Pope being dead.
Rest in peace to a real one.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the Pope.
R.I.P.
He was a great man.
One day after Easter too. That's crazy.
Curious to see who's going to be picked next.
Less than a day after you met JD Vance.
Less than a day. We definitely do have
I'm
some
not saying he
files.
did it, but
I'm
I
not
was.
saying
You think he played that copy of Undertale that Matt Pat gave him?
Someone else asked me that exact same question the other day. Someone, like, immediately after I was like, do you think he played that copy of Undertale? Alex, I think he did. That's how we learned about friendship.
You know what? I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
At least he got to experience peak gaming.
You got to experience a good soundtrack too,
The
Pretty
best to
awesome.
ever do it, honestly.
Thank you, Toby.
You're welcome, guys.
All right, we're going into the sports next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's the sports time.
I just dropped something on my
What do
phone.
we talk
Deleted it.
about in sports?
What should we start with?
NBA playoffs.
Are we starting what's going
the
currently, or
National Basketball Association playoffs now available on TNT
More
and whatever other local listings are. It's not an advertisement. We're not affiliated with the NBA.
trying to help masses become accessible?
We're not affiliated with the NBA in any way.
Have y'all been watching the playoffs?
I
No.
can't.
No,
I don't have
you
cable.
can't.
I'm gonna say something before we get
may
into
or may
sport.
not know a website you can go to that can totally
I was
ethically
gonna say,
legally
I
help
think
you
I
out.
want to say something before we go into sports. Sports need to be more accessible to watch to create more sports, more Wembanyamas, more LeBrons. You need to make it accessible to be able to watch. Not everybody has an ad blocker, Isaiah.
What do you mean you don't have an ad blocker? Install an ad blocker.
I have an ad blocker. I got it because of you. Don't worry about it.
Do not use the internet without an ad blocker. It's 2025. You don't need to see ads anymore.
Yo, quick question
Right,
to anyone who
you're
has
right,
like
you're right.
uBlock. Does YouTube throttle like your thing because you have uBlock on, or is that just
I
my
don't think
PC
so.
like dying?
I think that's your PC.
I use Pi, I think, because I kept getting YouTube advertisements for it. And I broke down because I'm very, very easily peer pressured.
Because YouTube used to be running fine. Now it takes like 5 seconds to load a video on Firefox, but on Chrome it's fine.
Seconds.
Where I don't have
Funny
an
enough,
ad
I'm
block
going to
on
say
Chrome
this
because
is
I don't use Chrome
not
that
an
much.
advertisement for ad blockers. But when I watch Hulu on my laptop, I don't get ads. But when we watch Hulu on the TV, it is like 5 minutes of ads. So for your mental health sakes, and when you're watching Law and Order and it gets to the really big part, you're gonna want an ad blocker.
I mean,
just double check.
I don't
have
mind
uBlock
ads,
and then
honestly.
YouTube opens fine for me.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, same thing with me.
I think it's a you problem, bro.
It might be because my Twitter doesn't fucking work on Firefox anymore either. Do I have like a virus on my browser?
Okay, I think that might just be Twitter being a shitty website.
Can I
Could
say
be.
something? I think there might be another problem, Toby.
Have I been
Why
banned
the
on
fuck are you
Twitter?
using Firefox?
What the fuck is wrong with
Yeah,
Firefox?
no
Like,
Firefox in 2025.
Respect Firefox.
hello?
Respect Firefox.
Would you rather use
No,
Google
I'm not
Chrome?
respecting Firefox in
Respect Firefox.
2025.
Dude, if you use
Respect
if you fucking
yourself.
say something like I use Opera GX and genuinely get the fuck out. If you
No, I stopped using Opera because it got annoying. I use Chrome.
Ew.
Sorry, I personally
Fire.
use Internet Explorer. That's the best one.
Yeah, me too as well.
I think you had to go to sleep, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unc still got it.
Yeah,
Unc still
get out
got
of
it.
here, See, Paul, you gotta go back to bed.
I support you, Alex. I support you.
No,
But
Firefox
anyway,
is good. Anyway.
No, it's not.
Yes,
so
Firefox
the
is good.
NBA
That is the
playoffs.
community.
No one care about the NBA playoffs. All right, my goat, the king of kings, the best player in the NBA, Jason Tatum, is up 2-1 on the Orlando. Let's be real here. This NBA playoffs just felt.
I mean,
it makes me want to cry. I hate everything.
I've been watching the Clippers Nuggets series.
That's a good series.
That's been peak basketball all the way throughout.
That is peak basketball.
Every single game has been close.
The Pistons Knicks series is good too, as well. That series is
no
pretty good.
one cares about Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. We're here to see Kawhi Leonard and the MVP Nikola Jokic.
Wait, did he actually win
basketball.
MVP?
No, he should. No, they're gonna give it to. They're gonna give it to Shea shooting free throws somewhere.
They're gonna give it to Aura Man.
No, but like genuinely, I don't know what's going on with these playoffs. The Bucks are washed.
I mean, they've been catching back up.
Yeah, the Celtics could probably beat any team blindfolded with Jason Tatum tied to a chair somewhere because they certainly aren't winning with that. They're certainly not losing without him.
They do not need Jason Tatum.
They do not need Jason Tatum.
They don't need him. They barely need Jaylen Brown, and he won Finals MVP somehow.
Cleveland, Miami is a joke. Like actually, literally, actually a joke. Why did the Grizzlies even play in the playoffs? They might as well have just said, "Nah, we good."
I mean, they're playing against Aura Man. I don't know what you expect from them.
Yeah,
it's tough competition.
The Rockets and the Warriors is a fine series, but Draymond Green may have single-handedly hurt the Warriors. Now that playoff Jimmy's,
Well, they still won.
Is he out?
It seems pretty bad.
Out.
Yeah,
I think he is. They said it wasn't like a bone injury at least, so like this is like the best case scenario, but he's still out for a bit.
Okay.
My friends that are Warriors fans are mauling.
I'm so sorry for them.
They still managed to win without him.
Don't be sorry for them. They saw 4 games.
Just kidding.
Ever feel sorry for a Warriors fan?
Just kidding. I'm not. But I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off for everyone in here. I don't care. I'm gonna say a prayer right now in front of everyone. All right, dear basketball gods, fucking take Anthony Edwards' powers and like make him go into a hole somewhere. I don't care if he's funny. I don't care anywhere. He ruined the Lakers in 5. I hate him, and I hate the Timberwolves. They have Rudy Gobert, who's the worst player in the league. Julius Randle shouldn't even be in the league. And Lakers in 5 was funny. And my God, and Luka Doncic, LeBron James need something. I'm sorry. I'm not even a Lakers fan, and I just feel this way.
Take all of Anthony Edwards' youthful energy and give it to LeBron. Make the world right again.
Right, we need it. We need it. Listen, no one wants to watch the boring ass Thunder and the boring ass Celtics play in the playoffs. We want Luka, we want LeBron, we want good players. We don't want no boring free throw shooting man or we did it, boy. We want the king. We want Luka Doncic, #1 Overwatch player. All right, we don't want this stuff.
Okay, you really want an Overwatch player, don't you?
What?
I want Kawhi Leonard in the finals.
I don't.
I want anybody but an Overwatch player.
I don't. Every day Kawhi Leonard does better, I'm reminded that the Spurs got rid of him for a bag of peanuts.
DeRozan was a good trade.
Yeah, before someone starts talking to me about DeMar DeRozan,
think of it like this: it's a domino effect. Trading for Kawhi got you Wemby. Yeah,
I've seen people say that all the goddamn time. It's like this wouldn't have happened. It's like yeah, but like
you threw away what could have been another ring to get Wemby.
I like peanuts.
True.
I'm just gonna say this right now, and this is my only bit of propaganda I'll ever say in my life about the San Antonio Spurs. If Zaza Pachulia didn't fucking stick out his leg and ruin Kawhi Leonard's ankle, the Spurs would have killed every team in that playoffs.
No,
not a joke.
Yeah,
real.
100%.
They were bullying the Warriors. You know, the KD Warriors. We'd be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah, KD's getting exposed. KD got exposed.
I fucking love Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard himself, because at that point, all we had was Manu, 39-year-old Ginobili, LaMarcus Aldridge, the soul of Tim Duncan strapped on a backpack, and Tony Parker, who was like a year away from being traded to the Charlotte Hornets. I'm sorry, Kawhi Leonard was like legitimate Superman. If he didn't get his ankles twisted out by Zaza Pachulia, that Spurs team might have actually just like reset the NBA. I stand by it. Never
100%.
Never doubt. This is why I hate Zaza Pachulia, and I will be going on a manhunt. Who do I hate more, Zaza Pachulia or Tatum?
Ooh,
probably Tatum.
Damn!
I fucking hate Tatum. He's a Celtic. But at the end of the day, you know, listen. I think we should all offer our predictions. You know, for what we think the finals is going to be. So I'm gonna say this in the air in hopes someone's listening to me. I think the finals should be the Detroit Pistons against the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah. And I'm gonna say something you'll never hear before. LeBron is the guy. No matter what, I will someday fly. Luka all the way to the sky. Pistons in 5. Pistons in 5. All right.
Pistons.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else got any other predictions?
Um,
I'm getting flamed in the comment section right now.
They're beating your ass in the quote retweets.
I mean, I don't want to say the Thunder's going to be in the finals.
No, yeah.
They probably are. I don't like it.
This Thunder team reminds me of like 2017 Warriors, but without like any of the cool aura.
The sauceless team.
That's Aura Man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
All him no aura, man. Like
we got hype moments in aura.
This is a man that knocked out a guy with his aura.
I've seen that clip. I've seen that clip so many times.
This is the funniest video in the in all of internet history. It's so fucking funny. I laugh at it every time.
I just like I can't, yeah.
I mean, I'd love to say that I think like I don't know if the Clippers are even gonna make it out of the first round, but hey, if they make it there, they might beat the Thunder. Probably not. No.
Okay, that would be kind of poetic justice right there, though. Like genuinely.
Like it would be so fun.
Gods.
It would be so fun seeing the Clippers cook up there.
Although I don't know if we could say basketball gods and the Los Angeles Clippers in the same sentence.
The Clippers
Unless
cannot
it has
win.
unless it has the word hates in between them.
They must
Yeah.
never make it to the finals. They must never win a championship. It is.
Hey, listen. Listen, if David Stearns was my owner for like freaking that long, yeah. Or David Sterling. Yeah,
They're still being punished for those
Yeah.
years of his own shit.
They're just like, yeah, sorry. I really hope the Lakers come back. I'm sorry. Like it will literally I already see these playoffs basically having like I've seen numbers. The viewership is down insanely right now. And if the Lakers are not even in the Western Conference this year, no one's gonna watch that shit.
As long as the Warriors are in, we're good.
I mean,
In terms of viewership, that's
Even
not
then,
immaculate. I think the Warriors still has a big enough like audience to like.
I think
Amass.
so, but just like no one gives a shit about the Thunder, minus Thunder fans that apparently have come out of the weeds to be Thunder fans again. Or Celtics fans that do exist for some reason. I didn't know you could be cringy even more.
yeah, they're called the Ku Klux Klan.
I don't think you can say that on stream, man. But at
No,
this
you
point,
can.
fuck it.
We vet it. We vet it. We vet it. We vet it. I'll vet it. I respect it. Hey, it's okay, y'all. It doesn't matter. Like I said, you know, in a little bit soon, they'll have the draft lottery. Spurs will get the #1 overall pick. Cooper Flag will be a Spur, and then the dynasty starts, and it's all good from there. We'll all be good. The NBA will have a villain. And then after the Spurs win their 5th NBA championship, LeBron will come out of retirement with Bronny as the star point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers, and he'll lead a comeback against the dynasty that is the San Antonio Spurs. And LeBron will win his 5th NBA championship at that point. That's the moment for the storybooks right there. Where's the rest of the league during all that? I don't know. Don't care.
Real.
Is this what fumbling Kawhi does to a person?
Yes. Yes, it does. The Spurs be like, hey, so Kawhi Leonard won an NBA championship without you. How are you feeling, Spurs fan? You know, we're doing pretty good. We're fine. We're okay.
Everything's fine.
Just like crying inside.
Yeah, everything's fine.
At least we have Devin Vassell. Hey guys, we made the play-in tournament this year. Yay! Yeah. Anyone else have anything else to say about the NBA playoffs?
I think that's it.
Lakers and
Kawhi Leonard's finals, baby. Kawhi Leonard's Super Bowl incoming.
I'll support that. I'll support it. I'll support it.
Kawhi Leonard, Cade Cunningham finals.
Yeah. So after this season, by the way, Kevin Durant is going to be traded to the Brooklyn Nets to reunite in Brooklyn.
That's so
And
disgusting.
then Nikola Jokic is going to be traded to play alongside Luka Doncic in LA.
Oh my god.
I have predicted the future. So thank you.
If Jokic actually gets traded to the Lakers at some point in his career, like the league's just over.
I think he'll just start crying, honestly. He'll be like, damn, I have to go play for people. Really? I can't just have like 2 people supporting me. I have to have a whole city.
A lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, man. There's a guy on TikTok that does I don't know if anyone's seen him, but he does like a Luka and a Jokic impression, and they're like besties, and I love that. I think that should be the real life. I think it's awesome. It's so cute. Anyway, so on Thursday, there was an event that happened that was pretty cool.
No
Does
way.
anyone know
What
that
event is that,
event
Tori?
was? It was the National Football League draft.
What?
The moment where
Whoa!
college kids can become
Concussed.
NFL draft players and concussed. And Shador Sanders can slide to the 5th round.
It's so funny.
But before we talk about that, I would like to preach the gospel really quickly. So As a Bears fan, I say we trust in Ben Johnson. So I take these words with with very, very seriousness. What the fuck was that draft? All right. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't really have much to say. The Bears took a tight end at number 10. That was the second best tight end in the class, not the first best. And then all Bears fans somehow convinced themselves that we made the right decision. Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
it's funny because like he was someone that I saw people like projecting to go like pick like 16 to 20,
yeah.
not pick 10.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be one of those situations where it will either be the best thing that's ever happened or the worst. There is no in between.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's no like he did fine. It's like either like you're great or like you can't. Um yeah. Other than that, a lot of stuff happened. Travis Hunter went to the Jaguars. RIP Travis Hunter's career. Um Cam Ward's a Titan. Abdul Carter's a Giant. Um, there's a lot more picks that happened. One thing
Giants set their future with Jackson Dart.
let me say something with that really quick. I want to say this in the most not loving Shador way ever. Shador Sanders is annoying, and I'm sure I understand why, teams passed up on him. But to trade back into the first round to draft fucking Jackson Dart over both Shador Sanders and Jalen Milroe, I hope and assume will go down as one of the most stupid decisions to ever exist in a football organization.
Yeah, I legitimately like when I saw they did that, I could not believe it.
It's just like, listen, they've already made one stupid decision. They're the same people that wouldn't pay Saquon, the guy that should
They
have won
wouldn't pay
MVP last year.
Saquon. They paid Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones. Daniel Jones. So it's pretty funny for them to do that and then to draft white boy quarterback who suspiciously looks a lot like Zach Wilson and had a lot of very similar stats to Zach Wilson.
Like
Huh.
sucking at football.
Yeah, that's a little weird. It's a little odd. But, maybe he'll be the next Eli Manning. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Giants fans want. Even if you didn't want to take Shador, why not take Jalen Milroe? I feel like Jalen Milroe is a better option. If nothing else, he doesn't work out to be like a pseudo like running back type of person.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, like
It was just like stupid decisions about the quarterback all the way.
you also like genuinely you probably could have gotten Jackson Dart at like pick 34 or with 33, whatever they had. 34, 35.
Yeah, because like I think the Giants were trying to do, they were thinking, oh, the Browns are probably going to pick a quarterback with their early second round pick, so let's trade ahead and take Jackson Dart for some reason. Because
And
like I guess they preferred him,
I don't think the
and the
Browns
Browns
were
didn't give a shit. They're like, okay, I'm not picking a quarterback anyway.
Yeah, they were like, we're not gonna do this till later. What does it matter? Just I don't know. This draft like actually hurt my brain because this is unlike the last year's draft, which I think there's still a debate up there that like all 5 of the quarterbacks taken in the first round are going to be franchise guys. This is probably fairly true. I don't know much about JJ McCarthy. I don't think he's as good as people say he is, but sure. But at least
I mean,
4 of them will be 4 to 5 of them are going to be really, really good. So compare that to this year where it's like Cam Ward.
Cam Ward is the only good quarterback in the
Cam
draft.
Ward.
Shador is like fine. Everyone
He's
else is fine at best. They might turn out better. No
Yeah.
one was worth picking except Cam Ward.
It's just like it's funny to me because like I don't even know what to say with all that. NFL teams are weird. Somehow I have a feeling that like the Bears suck. This Colston Loveland pick will actually be somehow good because this is like the one time I'm like, I don't even feel bad about it. That's the issue. That's the thing I feel like. I'll say this as a Bears fan. When we traded up to the second overall pick to pick Mitchell Trubisky, I went, "What?" I knew. Like every Bears fan knew. We had it in our guts. This was one of those ones where I was just like, "I don't feel. What am I supposed to feel right now? Am I supposed to feel upset? Am I supposed to feel happy? Like, well, what do I do?
What am I supposed
I
to do
just
with my hands?
what am I supposed to do with my hands? I just like I didn't know Ashton Genty's probably gonna be the best person in this draft. I don't know. I don't know. The Chiefs are gonna win another Super Bowl or the Eagles. I mean, somehow the one of the best defensive players fell to the Eagles again, as always.
You
The
gotta
rest
kill
of
Howie
the
Roseman, man.
the
He's
rest of
doing
the
too
league
much.
allow the Eagle the rest of the league draft a really high comp player that the Eagles would definitely want, or let the Eagles get him at a really late. Let them have it. I think it's genuinely funny. Anyway, I've been dancing around it. I'm gonna say my Shador Sanders piece, and then that can be the last thing we say about the draft. The only thing I will say about Shador Sanders is yes, he's cocky and arrogant. I view it a lot like LaMelo Ball or LeVar Ball, or the Ball brothers. The Ball brothers are good basketball players. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of teams at the time were slightly worried about what would happen with that. Now, they took chances anyway because the NBA is a lot better with that, but I think that does affect a player. And Shador has Dion. And if you know anything about Deion Sanders is a person. He is a guy that exists.
True.
Like, do I think he deserved to fall to the 5th round? No, he's way better than back. He'll be a league average quarterback, probably. So it's a little weird. I think the Saints taking some random 7-year white boy is like slightly disrespectful, and they might need to look into the Saints for being maybe racist. I wouldn't know that, but they've also only had one like white quarterback, and that was Spencer Rattler. And even then, they didn't even really like him, and they're him out pretty much. So like, maybe that's something to look into. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But genuinely, like, it's just a little weird to me, because they're like, I'd rather take this random project quarterback than like, hey, he's probably gonna be fairly good.
Yeah, like the fact that like he's like you said, he's not a 5th round talent.
Yeah.
2nd round, sure. Like the Browns should have picked him in the 2nd round, or the Saints, or the Steelers. Letting him slide to the 5th is just way too far. Like
It
they're like,
feels weird. It's just like
like
I don't know how to feel. It feels
yeah, I
odd.
get it. Like we all no one's saying he doesn't have these. He's not going to have these issues, but is that like really worth him going all the way to the 5th round?
Is that really worth Dylan Gabriel being drafted before him? Like, I don't know what to say about that. It's just so odd to me. It's like I could have understood Jalen Milroe because of like the weird upside thing, like big arm, big talent, speed, all those things those draft people love. But like, huh? Dylan Gabriel looked awful most of the year in Oregon, and then had a horrible pro camp, had horrible stats, and he's like what, like 5'10"? Most people aren't even gonna say he's gonna be a college quarterback. That random 7-year guy, I don't even know who the hell he is. There's apparently a video I was supposed to watch about it. I'll watch it at some point. And Jackson Dart is Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, I've said that like twice now, but it's true. He's Zach Wilson. I don't care. What? It's so weird to me. It's like, okay, we're just gonna, yeah, fuck you. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
I just, it's odd. It's stupid. It's dumb. And the fact that it's a story is even worse. It makes me feel even worse about it. Because it shouldn't be
yeah.
a story. It shouldn't have been something that happened to begin with.
It honestly, like to me, it feels like whenever we actually do figure out what the full story is, I feel like we're just not gonna believe it. Like
Yeah.
it has to be something really bad that it's like unbelievable, or it just has
Yeah.
to be a complete, just utter failure from everyone around the NFL for no reason.
Yeah. Because I mean, it just makes zero sense, and it's gonna be such a big thing. And when Shador either does or doesn't have his breakout, or is or isn't bad, because apparently now the leash for a rookie quarterback is like 2 games, maybe 1, maybe 0, maybe 1 throw. You never know. I just I don't know how to say, like, yeah, it's weird, it's odd, it's stupid, and then Arch Manning's gonna come out next year, and he's probably gonna be sucky, and then people are gonna make excuses for him, and it's gonna be all, yeah. So I don't want to harp on it too much. Every team failed actually, except for the Eagles. Somehow that's becoming a trend. Yeah. Is there any other sports stuff you want to talk about? I feel like I've been dominating this conversation. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Hmm.
Uh,
No, I like the way the Chargers drafted. I think they made good choices.
Hmm.
They picked
are
wide
you a
receiver,
Chargers fan?
unfortunately.
Hey, you know you guys could have taken Luther Burden the third. Thanks for him though.
Don't
Appreciate
worry.
it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Me, the Bears fan over here, just like taking any crumbs.
Anything you can get is good.
Anything I can get is good.
The Bears haven't given you much.
Yeah, I put my faith in Caleb Williams, that probably gets me killed. Also, why does I have to be in Green Bay? I'm tired of hearing Packers fans. I think we
Go
should take
Paco.
Packers fans' rights away. Is that political? Toby, is that political?
I think you're
Might
fine.
be.
Okay.
I honestly don't
Just
really
Packers
know.
fans. Just Packers fans. No one else. Just Packers fans. Uh But you know what's something that is happening right now that's really awesome? The MLB season. Has anyone been keeping up with it like I have?
I know the Padres are number one. That's really it, though.
The Padres are actually the number 3 best team in the league.
Well, in their division.
They are number 1 in their division, but they're behind the New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs. Sorry, I'm a Cubs fan. Yeah. We're not very good very often, but sometimes we're good, and that's
Look
what
what
makes me
society has
happy.
evolved into. Cubs fans. Disgusting.
Disgusting. Uh no, baseball's been fun this year to watch. Unless you're a Rockies fan, and then I'm sorry for you. I apologize.
I got talked into playing fantasy baseball, and I don't like it.
Fantasy baseball's like actually might be the most annoying fantasy thing because all of fantasy sports is like this thing where it's like, hey, this is hard. Like you're like basically just like guessing. But fantasy baseball, like the average 0 for 4 game from a player like Aaron Judge is like 1 in 4 games.
Yeah. Like sometimes I look at it and my players do nothing, and it's like, cool, thanks.
Thanks.
Really needed
Appreciate it.
that. And
Uh
sometimes Aaron Judge gets me like 20 points.
then you're like, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah. I think it's one thing for like players to have bad game. It's just like there's 162 games in the season. The only player in MLB history who was good for all 162 games was named Barry Bonds. Like,
I don't know. It's fantasy baseball does not make sense. It doesn't feel like it makes sense at all. Like not even close to the way that fantasy football makes sense. Which again,
yeah,
fantasy football doesn't make a lot of sense. Like you said, you're just guessing. But that's only 17 games. Actually, I don't know, most leagues don't even play
hey,
all of them. You know.
you're not just guessing. You're guessing with advanced knowledge, all right? Using statistics and spreadsheets and totally real metrics.
Surely that means I should always win.
I
Surely.
was having this conversation earlier, but I think it's so funny with like the gambling stuff because it's like they'll be like this kind of goes for fantasy sports too because it's the same principle, but it's like Saquon Barkley has ran for 200 plus or ran for 100 plus yards in 16 of his last 22 games. He is very, very likely to do this tonight. And it's like, yeah, that's how probability works, Fred. Like you're not saying anything. You're just saying a chance. It's just a gamble. There's a 50% chance either way. I just think it's so funny because it's like if you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's really funny because it's like baseball specifically super funny because it's like this player is not pitching well because his spin rate is down 45%, which is causing this pitch to end here. And in reality, it's just like, yeah, he kind of hung that ball one time and good player hit it 6 miles. Yeah, that's it. Congratulations, we solved it. Like I think it's genuinely really funny because like as someone who has played baseball and done all of that, like I think statistics are great and I think it's a good way to like understand like, how valuable players are and all of this stuff. I think that's interesting to learn about. But like to use it to like determine how things should go is really funny sometimes because it's like, well, 6 times out of 10 he's gonna hit it this way, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he hits it that way. It's like, hey, look, it worked. And then like the other 3 times he doesn't, and it's like, oh, well, we did it. We tried. we did our best. Good try, man. That being said, baseball is really fun to watch, though. Actually, it's pretty cool this year. Teams are having major offensive performances, and it's really fun. And the Cubs are good, which makes me happy because the Cubs haven't been like actually truly good since 2016.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
supposed to go watch some games with people later.
Ooh.
Yay! What's your team, McGriddle?
I mean, I really don't watch baseball, so I guess I default to the Padres.
That's fine.
But
Like that.
I live in the gayest city in the world, San Francisco, so it's the Giants, so I don't get publicly executed.
Yo, nice.
I can't say anything negative about Barry Bonds. I will get jumped. Not that
You're
I'm
the
hating on
greatest.
Barry Bonds at
You're the
all, but
greatest baseball player. Okay, I wanna say my propaganda about Barry Bonds if this is okay for the podcast.
It's fine.
say it, and I'll tell you how close it is to my friend's
Uh,
propaganda for Barry
let me
Bonds.
let me say this right now, and I mean this with the general situation. Barry Bonds is the greatest player to have ever walked the earth of baseball, and for numerous reasons. Yes, he did steroids. I agree. Barry Bonds genuinely could hit a baseball better than any other person ever in the history of baseball. The man is the fastest person ever to 400 home runs, 400 stolen bases. The man legitimately was a threat, and when he took steroids, he literally became a physical god. Teams were so scared of him, they were walking in runs just to make sure they didn't have to pitch to him. That's how good Barry Bonds was. Barry Bonds is so goddamn good. There is never going to be a baseball player like Barry Bonds. You cannot tell me Aaron Judge. I don't care. I could give two craps. Barry Bonds is like 35 times the player Aaron Judge will ever be because Barry Bonds at one point physically was probably the most gifted player ever.
I mean, yeah, that's honestly, it's not that far off from what my friends say. Like the main thing they'll say is that Barry Bonds is the best player before he was on steroids,
I agree with that statement.
and
Like
then he became. He
even
was still the
better.
best player.
Yeah,
He was just better.
he genuinely yes. I'm not even being if you want to look at statistics, if you want to look at pure eye test, if you want to look at just like video evidence, if you want to just have the feel for it, he cracks in all of them. I mean, I think it's funny because I was watching a video about it. There's actually a rule. So I don't know if any of you know. Do any of you know about the statistic WAR?
War?
I know it by name, but I don't know what it
Wins
means.
above replacement. So a really basic understanding of WAR is how much value a player adds to a team. So basically, how many wins a player can generate for a team. So a good example. So the replacement player is this like mystical thing of like the average player. How much more does he add compared to an average player? That's like the basics gist of it. The two highest WAR people in baseball history are Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. Babe Ruth is the highest by the longest margin because he played in an era when there was plumbers there. So him being good at baseball like made him mythical. Um, Barry Bonds' WAR statistics are actually so crazy. They literally have a rule in WAR called the Barry Bonds rule because he just is untrackable. In 4 years, in his age 37 to 41 season, which is the time most people suck, he averaged 49.2 WAR total, making it like across those 4 years like an insane like 13 average, 14 average WAR. For reference, we haven't seen a 14 average WAR season in like 6 years. I think the last one was Judge's 62 home run season. Like, and that was 3 years ago, so I apologize on that. But like, it's insane. Barry Bonds is like statistically one of the most fantastic players ever.
Yeah.
I swear this isn't Barry Bonds propaganda. I'm not even a Giants fan. I think it's funny. But yeah, the baseball season's been great this year. It's been awesome and cool. I just wish the Yankees sucked. I hate the
Do you have
Yankees.
an opinion on the torpedo bats?
My opinion is I don't care. Like genuinely, if they want to do that, it's legal by MLB standards. It statistically does something, but it's also not crazy. There's actually been a talk about it recently because like genuinely they tapered off. They had that initial explosion and everything's just kind of leveled out again.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what happens with new stuff. Like whenever like new stuff happens in the league, it's always this huge explosion and then it tapers out after a while and just goes back to normal levels. Because at the end of the day, it's a hard sport,
Right.
No matter what size your barrel are, the percentage that you hit the barrel on the ball in this specific thing, it helps. Like it helps. It's not going to change too much. You might get like, I think probably the expected is like 5 to 10 extra home runs per year, or like extra total base hits or whatever. But it's not going to like absolutely change a player to the point that it like
This isn't gonna make a
make you a
bad
Hall of
player
Famer.
good.
Yeah, it's not gonna make you a Hall of Famer. It might make you better. It might make you an All Star, but it's not gonna like all of a sudden turn like Miguel Amaya, average player catcher for the Cubs, into like the greatest hitter ever, just by switching to that bat. Like it's not that easy. It's
Why isn't it that easy?
because
Oh,
nothing in
why?
baseball is
Why?
easy. Nothing's in baseball is easy. Uh, I'll share one more final piece of propaganda before we end this section on baseball because I feel the need to share this because I've been thinking about this recently. In the light of the pitching wars that is going on right now, I want to remind everyone that Trevor Bauer is not the answer, my friend. Trevor Bauer is the worst pitcher probably right now. He is currently in Japan getting shelled by people who really should be in the majors, but realistically probably have zero to little shot in the major leagues. And he's throwing a grand total of 92 miles per hour. For reference, the lowest fastball, like general four-seam fastball, averages out about 93 to 94. So he's sitting below that. So no, random Twitter user that loves Trevor Bauer, he is not going to come back to the because no team wants him because he sucks. I'm sorry. And for Trevor Bauer himself, for some reason he stumbled across this podcast. Dude, please just give it up already.
Get a real
We know
job.
you're an influencer. Just like go like, teach kids about like robotics. You seem to like that. You're probably pretty good with that
Go,
type of stuff. Maybe it'll
go,
be okay.
go coach in college or something. It's
Yeah,
over for
like
you, bro. It's
it's
over.
every year, bro.
Your
Please
career's
move
Okay,
over.
on.
but can you like this video and comment on it before you do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, yeah,
yeah.
we could really appreciate that.
We
That'd
appreciate
be
it.
great.
We'd love to get the views. I'd appreciate it. Hey, I'll talk to you on our next podcast. Same with Jason Tatum. Hey, all my enemies I'll talk to. Jason Tatum, all of the Packers fans, the Yankees fans, Trevor Bauer. I don't really have anyone else. Cody Bellinger, if you want to come on the podcast as well, you might be too high to do that, but it's okay. Yeah, we'll have conversations. We'll have a great. Shea
We will
Gilgis
start a dialogue.
man. We'll start a dialogue. The Warner Brothers CEO,
Draymond Green.
Zaslav,
Draymond Green, any of them. Hey,
Jack
just,
Black.
have a dialogue. Jack Black, yeah, I don't hate Jack Black, but like, yeah, sure. Oh, Cat's got some memes, so we'll go with that. Wow, that was sure a lot of talking tonight, guys. Thanks for everything.
That sure was a podcast.
That sure
Every
was.
pod has its cast.
Alex, I feel like we didn't hear much from you tonight. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that like a yeah, I didn't know what I did, or like a yeah, you suck?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that our closing
know.
remarks? Is that what we're gonna end on?
I guess, unless Alex has got something to say about like Dragon Ball.
Why Dragon Ball?
I don't know, Alex. What do you like? Like
Godzilla minus you coming
for
out today.
for legal reasons.
Yeah. I hope he fights the monster for the sequel, because it's like they haven't done one, at least like for the Japanese movies.
Oh yeah,
He
it's
hasn't
just
fought a
been-
monster in a while.
Man,
Because there's two series going on, the American ones and the Japanese ones. And the Japanese ones, like, he hasn't fought a monster in a while. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to have Godzilla fight another monster and actually be serious. So yeah, there's my 2 cents.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Toby, anything from you?
Eat your veggies and yeah, drink your milk. And if you're lactose, drink your lactaid.
Riddle, anything from you?
I don't know. I've been reading Ultimate Spider-Man, so shout out Spider-Man.
Which Ultimate Spider-Man? Like
But like
oh,
2000s
it's the original Ultimate.
or 2000, yeah, the original one. I'm reading this so I can read the Miles Morales comics.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know,
That's really cool.
Spider-Man's great. Love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
Very
is
important to my life.
Are you a Spider-Man main on Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, I think 98% of my playtime is Spider-Man. That's
so
not an
cool.
exaggeration.
Are you like Necros? Am I gonna have to beat you?
I fucking love Spider-Man.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Wow.
You have
You know what's funny?
anything else to say?
Yeah, I do actually have a closing remark because I think it's funny. So, for those of you that don't know, we have a GIF that we add every time to our little board there. You might notice it in the thumbnail during the video. And today's gift was baby girl Kennedy. And we didn't talk about Leon S. Kennedy once. Like, at all.
You know,
so I don't know why that was there.
This podcast could use more Leon.
It could use more Leon.
Leon,
Leon,
I will scream Leon into this. So on the count of 3, we're all gonna scream Leon. All right. I know we just did it a second ago, but all together. All right. All right, everyone ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Leon,
Leon, help me!
help me, Leon!
Leon,
help!
We had the podcast.
Help!
Leon,
Help me, Leon!
Leon.
Leon!
Leon!
You know, it would have been really funny if I just stopped the stream before before the countdown
that would've been
ends, or right when the countdown ends. But no.
1, 2, 3, end.
Yeah. No, we're still streaming.
Bruh.
We're still live.
Live.
We're still live. This podcast will never end.
Everyone,
You guys cannot
no,
go to
it's funny.
sleep.
Bruh.
That means the